You did it. You're doing it. We're officially Dr. Wright. Officially Dr. Wright. So it's been a couple of days since I posted something because I had graduation and all the festivities. I took my whole little setup. I took my tripod, I took my microphone, I took my light, and I was like, I'm gonna block the whole experience. That didn't happen. So we're still working on it. You know, part of the reason I started vlogging earlier is because I want to learn how to remember to do it. And trying to do stuff now, that was the goal, but that didn't happen. I even started to prepare a get ready with me, pack with me, all my graduation outfits. I didn't really like that, but I could definitely see how people are like doing this stuff helps you with some shadow work, because I was like, oh no, I don't want all of these things on camera. I don't like it. But anywho, here we are. So I am making some biscuits. I love making biscuits. When we talk about joy, making biscuits is one of my joys. I started baking from scratch in November, and every month I make something new. And the first time I made biscuits from scratch was December, and I just keep doing it. I just keep doing it. Very, very simple. 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of really, really cold milk, a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of sugar. And you want some like frozen butter, basically. Some people say 1 stick of butter. I have found for me, I enjoy 1.5 sticks of butter. That works for me. Also, I do salted butter, not unsalted, because like, yeah, the salt from me holds flavor. So that's that. But I thought while I'm making these biscuits, I would talk to you. So graduation was amazing. There was a little bit of frustration or challenge with it, so to speak, because I invited like 30 people initially, and I ended up finding out that my graduation was ticketed. I was told it wasn't ticketed, and that just wasn't true. Also, this is the thing of doing something while someone's watching. I poured the milk in before I usually do. I usually grate my butter in first, and I pour the milk in slowly, but this is where we are. Anywho, so I invited probably like 20 people, and most people just looked at the invitation, but there were some people that were like, okay, I'm coming. Now, the thing is, I invited people, I told people that I really wanted to be there like a year in advance, because I know that when people get stuff, especially for flights, they like to wait to the last minute, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go. Versus if you know that you had this trip planned way in advance, then that decreases the things. Well, by the time I found out that I had only 4 tickets, there were already 7 people that had bought tickets. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And I ended up just setting my general threshold at 10 because I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna have to ask people for tickets, but I am believing in miracles in this season. So I'm gonna have faith that I'm gonna be okay. And so that's kind of where I was. So that's kind of where I was. Right now, taking a fork and just mixing up everything. So once I found out I only get a certain amount of tickets, it was maybe 2 months before graduation. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? So I started asking my classmates, I started asking faculty that I knew, like if they could, look out for tickets for me. Started just asking a whole bunch of people. So just started off directions and I started praying. Okay, let's claim that all these people will be able to go. So what ended up happening was I had, let's say, nice and gooey. Let's say I had like 12 people who wanted to come. I'm like, okay, well, this is where we are. I set a 10 limit and then it got to 12. I'm like, okay, well, just gonna be praying that all these people get to go. No problem. So, yeah, time goes on and we're getting closer, I was able to secure 6 tickets. So that's 2 extra tickets. And still needed more. Long story short, I got all the tickets I needed. There were people who ended up not coming, or at the last minute was still like, oh, I'm considering it. Listen, if you didn't do it by now, it's okay. Because I wanted you there, but now we're working within some confines. So if you didn't, do what you need to do to already secure your spot, it is okay. That's like less tickets that I have to worry about. That's kind of what my thing was. So it worked out to the point that the day we were picking up tickets, I was asking people online, do you have extra tickets? Do you have extra tickets? One person told me yes, then I leave and I still needed 3 more tickets. And a person that I saw crossing the street, my friend and my classmate goes, do you have any extra tickets? Basically. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, well, can we get your number? So said person exchanged information with me. And I was like, okay, well, I got an extra ticket for you. And I still needed 2 more tickets. And he was like, okay, well, I got this extra ticket for you for sure. But then I'll know in the morning if I have, some more. Okay, no problem. Well, goes and says, oh, somebody's gonna buy the ticket for me. All right. So I'm like, I still had 2 people, or 3 people, and the third person was like an optional, and I'm just praying. And literally, I have to be at the school at 8:30. I start getting ready, and the person calls or texts me like, I have 2 tickets for you. And this was at like 7:30 in the morning. So I was able to get 2 out of the 3 people there. And go to school, then have to organize like, okay, who's going to give the tickets to the people, my friends giving tickets to family, then, you know, other folks, and it all just worked out. Everything just worked out so well. I bought a white dress to wear, but the temperature was like not dress temperature for me. And so I ended up wearing a white suit that I had bought for my photo shoot. And I looked really cute. I felt really fierce. Everything just worked out perfectly. Thankfully, I didn't cry as much as I thought I was going to during the commencement, but afterwards, oh man, bawled, honey, bawled, okay, bawling, ugly crying, thinking of my mom who passed in 2018 and just being so torn up that she was not there. Thinking about my grandfather who just would have just been head over heels. But there was somebody that kind of represented both of their love for me there. And I was just so happy he was there. One of my cousins slash uncles, because you know, black people, if you significant in age gap, you're gonna be my aunt or uncle. And so it just was perfect. I had 9 people there. 8 people came from out of state. 1 person lived there. I just felt so much love, and thinking about bliss, like that was bliss for me. That genuinely was bliss for me, like experiencing that love from my family and my friends. It was a treat. It really was. The feeling, it felt like one of the biggest moments of my life. It really did. I felt like I just had a whole movie play in my head of all these life events, not only in the last 3 years that could have impacted me to complete as well as I did, but I also thought about so much before, just in life, and I was so happy. I still am happy, but I'm just saying I was really, really so happy. And it's unexplainable. It's truly unexplainable, the amount of joy that I experienced the day of graduation and come to follow. It's the thing of, look at all this love that you have. You are so wealthy with love in your life, with support in your life. These people that using their time, their PTO, their money, their resources to just show up and make sure you're there. It just, oh my gosh, every single thing that I've had sadness or grief about, it just, now of course the grief that I did hold that day was like my mom, right? But I also had a lot of joy in being able to do this in honor of my mom, but you know, just as a step further than she would have been able to go. Neither of my parents have went to university. They both were in the military. They just had a lot of challenges. Both very intelligent people, but they never had like formal education, post-secondary education. So it's a big deal. I don't really come from a family of academics. I definitely have a handful of family members that have went to college. Most of them have done bachelors, have like 2 or 3 family members that have masters, and then extended family, and then I have a lawyer in my family, someone else that has a doctorate. But in my like most immediate family, in my nuclear family, I'm the first. And I was just so proud. There was this moment at graduation where they asked people to stand up if they were the first to get a master's in their family, if they were the first to get a doctorate in their family. And it was just, I don't know, just a beautiful moment. So I had different activities. I had like a celebration dinner, and then I did a spa day, and then I did lunch on the harbor. And everything just, again, just perfect. Everything was perfect. I'm really grateful for the love that I have, the experience that I was able to hold, in this journey. There's just so much that I'm grateful for, honestly. So we are getting closer to, these are kind of small. I'm gonna have to double up. It's funny, every time I make biscuits, they taste the same, but they're different because if the dough is like too thin, then the biscuits are gonna be thin. But if the dough is thicker, then you got thicker biscuits. So I'm gonna have a couple of not so thick biscuits. Then we're gonna have a couple of thick biscuits. One reason I like doing this is because it's like, I'm such a, sometimes, or I used to be, oh, this has to be this way kind of person, that with this, I'm just like, I just be doing whatever, no rhyme or reason. So if it comes out a certain way, cool. If it doesn't, I don't be like attached to it. It really, yeah. It's really just, it's a joy. It's a joy for me, but not a pressured joy, if that makes sense. And I love that for me. Less things that are pressure in life, the better. Because there's all these ideas about this should be done this way, this should be done this way. I mean, I think there are certain things you bake and there is like, it literally is supposed to be this way, but I feel like baking has helped me accept imperfection more, because sometimes you can have a hope that a recipe comes out a certain way and it just doesn't. And it was just some step that you didn't take or whatever, but it also doesn't like make the thing less good if it doesn't look exactly how you want it, So I feel like baking has helped me with my acceptance of imperfection. It's something I'm always working on. I don't believe in perfection, but I think that, I don't believe in perfection. However, especially being in structured environments, there are ideas that you have about things being a certain way. And I think when you have ideas that things should be a certain way, or there should be certain types of experiences, that creates more rigid ideas of what you or a person or life should be like. And the more environments that you have where things are regulated and structured, the more ideas of structure or something being a way that you end up just developing, And I think just in general, as I've learned to constantly decolonize my mind, the idea of internalized racism or white supremacy also allows many of us to perpetuate ideas of perfectionism. See, white supremacy focuses on this idea of inferiority and superiority. Well, if you're claiming one group is superior and one group is inferior, then what you're really saying is there's a standard of existence. And if there's a standard of existence and you don't meet that, you're inferior. And so what happens is those groups of people that are seen as inferior, they develop ideas of perfectionism, which leads them to believe I need to be this way so that I'm respected enough, that I'm powerful enough, that I'm honorable enough, that I'm acceptable enough, that I am just enough. And if you have any perception of you not being enough, then you too have internalized some idea of perfectionism. So there's people who don't even know that they hold ideas of perfectionism, but they do because they have internalized values or characteristics of white supremacy culture. Which kind of leads me as to why I am doing this sabbatical, right? Because the thing that makes sense for living is to just keep going, regardless if I like something or don't, right? It's like, don't be irrational and let your emotions guide you. Just because you're tired, doesn't mean that you should take a break, doesn't mean that you should leave your job. It doesn't mean any of that. And so, white supremacy culture also upholds capitalism and productivity and labor in lieu of comfort, right? And so this idea that I should ignore what's going on in my body and what's going on for me psychologically just so that I can keep making money is something that I am releasing. All right, so here's our biscuits right here. They're about to go in the oven for 15 minutes. So now it's always the cleaning up part. I bought this mat, so I do all my stuff on there so I don't have to put it on the counter, and then I have to clean my bowl. But with the biscuits, I'll just make some eggs and bacon, and that's it. I also have some juice that I'm gonna make, and I think I will maybe record a second video for that. Bliss, the recent bliss, graduation, love, allowing love to be poured into me, celebration, allowing others to celebrate me, others to nurture me. So necessary, especially as a person that is single, lives alone. Also, great thing about the celebratory period and having this celebration is I got to have a lot of contact, like a lot of hugs, right? So as a single person or a person that lives by yourself, some people don't think about the touch deprivation that happens, right? So me not being hugged or something like that, it can be a thing. So I'm always mindful of when I'm around people, like make sure I get hugs, make sure I get touches, because it makes a difference for your body. As humans, animals, we are social creatures, so it's important for us to be in connection with folks physically and emotionally. Food. I love food. I love food. I love food. So Bliss was also trying some new restaurants, getting some really good food. That made me really happy. Being outside, I did a lunch harbor cruise situation, and that was really nice to be on the water all the beautiful trees. And then to just, you know, be able to come back, and I'm taking a light day. I am going to be baking today, so that is my joy. I'm doing biscuits. And then I had bananas that I was going to use for banana bread before I left, but I didn't. So now they should be super, super ripe. I'm going to make some banana bread today. And yeah, I can't believe I'm getting closer to a sabbatical. Now we are, how many days away? I don't even know. I have to count. I don't know. We're something like 10 will be 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 13, 14. So we're like 15 days away, basically. And I do have a couple of things I still need to tie up. But I got all my clothes. I got this. This is really cute. Like a denim move caftan situation. Love this. I love caftans. People know I love caftans. I love muumuus. That is one of the things I want to learn how to make. I'm going to be bringing in sewing in part of my Bliss exploration as an artistic outlet. And I want to make caftans and wide leg pants. So those are the two things that I want to learn how to make for myself as artistic expression. But we are counting down. I mean, we've been counting down, but we're getting closer. 15 days away from sabbatical also means I'm 14 days away from my last day of work. And I'm just ready to like relax and turn my brain off. This morning I started reading or rereading a book, and that was just so nice to have a little bit of space to do that. Life, one step at a time, one day at a time. I'm so grateful for this season coming to an end. The next phase, I don't know what it looks like, but you know, we're taking things to the next level, but with ease, but with ease, but with ease. I am very much connected to the abundance and the favor that is in my life. I just feel the energy everywhere, and I'm really, really grateful to continue calling in unexpected blessings, unexpected miracles, opportunities, connections. And I just feel really good, y'all. I feel really good. And you see my hair. Really loved my hair. First time getting not a design, a hairstyle like this. And I love it a lot. It's just so cute. So that's where we are.